we enter into our new year. And with that, with this new year coming about, I just really wanted to encourage everybody to kind of look back at yourself and at the year that has passed, and just really put some fire underneath everything. And if our fires have been put out, to kind of relight that fire, and just to remind us all to have a desire to want to go forward, doing better and being better. Kind of take a minute, take a second, look back, think about everything that's going on. And whatever is coming up to your mind, I just want you to realize that you cannot go back. You can't go back and change anything, but you can definitely go forward in your walk. And I just really want to encourage us all to truly make a decision this year, and not really a New Year's resolution or anything like that, but just thank God for New Year's, for new beginnings, because they're so needed. But just to really make a decision within your heart and your mind and your soul that you are going to be the best you coming up this year, that the old things that have happened is not going to be on repeat again, because you are growing and you desire for you to be better and do better. Everybody knows the story about Lot and his wife and everything, but I came across that story and it really hit home with me and kind of stood out to me. If you don't know the story, Lot was Abraham's nephew, and Lot and his family, his 2 daughters and his wife, decided to move to Sodom. And we hear about Sodom and Gomorrah, how Sodom and Gomorrah was such a horrible town, and it was just sin everywhere. There was nobody reverencing God, with nobody trying to live for God or anything like that. And there came a time where the cry was so dang loud to God's ears that, people were crying out about the city, like, God, do something about these people, because they're just wretched. They're going ham. They ain't just doing all kind of crazy stuff. And Lot was one of the people. He moved there knowing about God, but I believe he moved there because of it was a luxurious place, and I guess he was so attracted to it. But the environment, like, wasn't nobody around him trying to live for God at all. And so, of course, the angels went to Abraham and told him, we're about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham was like, well, Lord, my nephew was there, and he was trying to plead for him, saying, well, Lord, if you find 50 or 25 or 10 righteous people there, won't you spare the city? And he was like, of course I'll, his character, God's character. He was like, yes, I will. But obviously, they didn't even find 10 people there that was living righteous. So the angels went there to destroy the city. But because of Abraham and his relationship with God, Abraham pleaded for Lot. And God was like, all right, I'm going to rescue your nephew, Lot, because of you and your relationship with me. I'm going to rescue him for you. And when they went to go get Lot out of the town, or told him that, they was about to destroy the place, because Lot was so comfortable, Lot had got so comfortable in that surrounding, in his mess, that he got so complacent, and he didn't even want to leave, even though he knew God and he knew of his power, and he knew of God's righteousness and how God don't go for all that mess. He was still so comfortable there, and he even tried to warn other people. Like, he had a couple of son-in-laws that was pledged to marry his daughters. He was like, hey, God's about to come and destroy this place. And they even laughed at Lot. They was like, man, whatever. We ain't trying to listen to you, because Lot was so conformed and so his lifestyle wasn't standing out like the rest, like a godly lifestyle should. They didn't take him serious at all. So with that being said, when they came to get him, he was even hesitant to leave. But because of Abraham's prayers and his pleading for him, the angels forced him out of the town. And Genesis 19 and verse 17, it says, as soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, flee for your lives. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away. And that really stood out to me. So I just want to let everybody know and just encourage everybody that whatever you've been straddling the fence with, or whatever as a single, or whatever you've been held back with, or feeling like you can't let go, let God's word speak volume to you right this minute. The angels were pleading and telling Lot, flee, flee. Flee don't mean just walk away or just, lollygag, but it means to run for your life. Literally, his life was depending on what these angels were telling him. He said, flee for your lives, and don't you dare look back. And don't stop anywhere in the plain, because they was about to destroy everything. He said, flee to the mountains or you will be swept away. So right now at this very time, make it up in your mind that you are going to flee. You may not know how you're going to flee. You may not know the next step that it takes to flee from anything that you may be struggling with or may be hurting you right now. But make it up in your heart and in your mind that you are going to flee and run for your life, because although we serve an awesome and gracious God, He is also a God of righteousness and justice. And where there is sin, He has to destroy it. And in no way as believers or as young women and men of God will we want to be attached to that sin when He does. So if we have always had that mentality of, well, it's just a little bit, or it's okay to do it a little bit, because that's a trick of the enemy. When we feel like we don't get chastised right then and there, it's just, it's okay, I got away with it. That's, I struggle with that many, many of times with that mentality, and that's what kept me bound or slipping or falling into certain things that I shouldn't have been doing. But with that mentality, of course, comes consequences, and we get involved in the punishment that God may have had for somebody, for wicked people, and we're involved in that, and we're not supposed to be. No way should we, be punished like the wicked, because, God told us to stand out. He saved our souls for a reason. So just take it up on your heart and receive this with encouragement. There is nothing, you are still breathing to this day, and there's nothing that has kept you or is keeping you bound that you can't break free from right now. And if we go on into the story, it says after they got free or whatever, he said, run to the mountains. You're going to have to really run to Christ. The mountains represents like a high place to where nothing can touch you. So while everything is going on down in the bottom, in the valleys and in the plains, it's like God is like our high place. He's our mountaintop. He's our refuge. So run for your life to the mountaintop. Because in no way possible, I don't want to see myself or see any of our singles be destroyed when God comes in to destroy things. And I'm not really talking about when He comes back, not necessarily, because that is going to happen, but just in our everyday lives. There are so many people going down right now, wicked people going down, and he's instant judgment. He's taking people out, or he's, repaying people for things that they did. An example of Lot. We all heard about Lot, the story of Lot's wife. She looked back. She didn't really understand, I guess, the plea and the seriousness of God's call when He was saying He was about to destroy these things, and don't you dare look back, because this is going down right now, and I don't want you to be a part of this. But her heart was just so stuck, and it was so, she couldn't let go, I guess, of the complacency of being so comfortable. And I guess to her, it was like a sad thing to her, like, wow, I don't want to leave this place of conformity. And she, not knowing the seriousness of it, looked back to what she was used to, or the sinful nature that she was in, and instantly became a pillar of salt. So I say this with from the bottom of my heart, y'all. We can absolutely do this thing. We can go forward. We can go forward in this new year and truly be a better us. A better young woman, a better young father, a better mother, a better friend, a better sister, whatever you desire, whatever you are called to be, we can absolutely do this. But we got to make it up in our minds that we are going to flee for our lives from anything that's been holding us back, and flee to the mountaintops, and don't dare look back, not even for a second. And not be, because we be thinking, well, all this stuff happened in the Old Testament, but God is a gracious God. God has been a gracious God back then, absolutely. But just to show us and remind us that God is the same, He even mentioned the example of Lot, even in the New Testament, in Luke, I believe, 17 and 32. So we very well know that God, He still operates in the same manner. When He's telling us to flee from things, and trust me, I get it. I've had strongholds on me, and I know the pressures and the feelings and the helplessness of feeling like I can't break free from certain things, or something is holding me back. But I'm telling you, when you make it up in your mind, like I said, you may not know how you're going to get there, but when you truly make it up in your mind to fight, God will absolutely give you the grace to win it. It don't matter what you're struggling with or what you may be feeling like you have to hold on to. Maybe it be a man or a young woman that you feel like you got to hold on to, but deep down inside you know something ain't right about this. I'm out of order. Or this something is just hindering me with this. Make it up in your mind tonight, today, when you hear this message, that you are not going to go back and not go through this next year the same kind of way. He will give you the grace to break free from whatever it is. And I know this from experience, or else I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't even be speaking this to you. So I encourage y'all that whatever it is, just make it up in your mind and really decide. Don't let nobody care more about your soul than you do. Don't let me, don't let your co-pastor, your pastor, anybody around you, your mama, your daddy, care more about your soul than you do. Because ain't nothing, at the end of the day, ain't no man, ain't no sex, ain't no whatever, videos, masturbation, whatever you may be struggling with, it ain't worth your soul. It's really not. And just realize that. This year, I don't have time to play no more. This year, I really got to get serious about my walk, because even though, I may be young, don't let that hinder you or think that you got all the time in the world. I want to get my blessings now. I don't want to go through the same old way. I don't want to be the same that I even was last year in the mishaps, in the mess-ups, and just waddling in my mess. I don't want to be that way, and I encourage you to decide that you don't want to be the same. So every move that you make, it has to be strategic. If you are in a relationship or you talking to some dude right now or girl right now, and you just thinking, well, I'm just doing it, I'm just having fun, I'm living in the moment, you better believe that there's a consequence to every action. Don't just go through life and just thinking, well, I'm just doing it just for fun, because those things just for fun will surely lead to other things, and it's kind of like a ripple effect, snowball effect. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Let your next move truly be your best move. Strategic is all possible. If you talking to some dude or some girl and y'all know this ain't really going nowhere, this ain't no leading to marriage, flee for your life sincerely, because you don't have time to play no more. Your life is too precious. Your babies is looking up to you, or your nieces and nephews, or there's young girls all around, or young men looking up to you and wanting to see, what must I do? How do I live this life right? And just realize, if you can see my heart right now, you'll see the sincerity behind it. Just make it up in your mind. But this is your life. You do. You got one life to live on earth before eternity. But make it count now. Make it count. Every decision that you make, think about the consequences. Think about why you're doing it, and is it best for you? And if it's not, then let it go, because God has so much. I'm telling you, when I decided to really live this thing out, I just know without a shadow of a doubt that because I am deciding to live for you, every piece of word that I obey, it is not in vain. Every time I resist the enemy, it is not in vain. And I know God is storing up blessings for me, and because he gives good gifts, because I'm deciding to believe his word. According to my own faith, I'm blessed. According to your faith, you're going to be healed, or you're going to be set free, or you're going to be blessed. But it's only according to your own faith. Other people can do so much. We can pray for you. We can do whatever, on the outside. But you have to make it up in your mind and your heart on the inside. That this is what I'm going to believe, and this is what I'm going to stand on.